Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to the Shrewsbury Biscuit podcast. We're coming to you today from a very windy back of Monkmoor pub, and we're at the Street Allotment with Casper. How's it going, Casper? You all right?
Very good, very good. Welcome along. It's, yes, as you say, this bit damp and drizzly, but here you are.
The Shrewsbury Biscuit podcast coming to you in all weathers. Now, I've got my wife, Carolina. Cass, how's it going? For finding you, because she's been a bit of my sort of a booking manager for me. She's been looking for people for me, for the Biscuit, for You Suck, the other network I do, and she found your Instagram page, and she fell absolutely in love with what you're doing. And I looked and I was like, oh, what a dude, what an absolute dude, because what you're doing is very, very, it's nice. It's nice to see so many nice community efforts. Well, there's like a handful of nice community efforts going on in Shrewsbury, but this is really sincere. So Casper, thank you for agreeing to doing this today. Tell us what it is that you are up to here.
Well, it really is as simple as growing food for the community. It started as a little bit of a lockdown project. I was just tidying up round where I live on Bell Lane, and there was a little plot of land, not very big, and thought it could do with a bit of a weed. So I asked the garage, HIQ garage that was just up the road, if I could dig it over. And he said, yes, go for your life. So by the time I'd gotten spade and fork inside it, I thought I'd just turn it into an allotment.
When was this?
Just February the 1st. February the 1st I started, and thought it would be a good idea.
This year or last year?
This year, just in February.
Wow, you've done all this?
Yeah. And then once that bedded down, as it were, to excuse the pun, I'm afraid I've gone all gardening. The landlord, Stuart Coates at the Abbey pub, offered a slunk of land to grow more veggies. So we took that one over, which we thought was absolutely vast. And 2 weeks into that, Anthony Brodie from Monkmoor said, I've got a little bit of a field out the back there. How about that? And it's vast. It's 13, 14 metres square. There's 170 square metres of growing space. And what we are doing is just simply converting it into allotments.
It's brilliant. I love it. Because we were just talking before we hit record, and this is all new for you, right?
Yeah, absolutely brand spanking. I've never grown anything. I don't know anything about growing.
Phil's face of bemusement, like, it's just wow, really? Yeah, yes, really. So, what made you want to do this? What made you think I'm going to pick up a shovel and do gardening?
Well, it was just tidying up. It was simple as that. And then with the first plot, because I didn't have a spade or a fork, I'm afraid I didn't have anything. So just asked the internet. Asked on Facebook, anybody help me out with, and it was a tidal wave, and seeds, plants, pots, compost, tools, dumpy bags, the whole thing came off, and people haven't stopped supporting it. So it was something I kind of fell into, but it's really, really very good, and I'm thoroughly enjoying it. Because I'm learning about it, it's a new curve. You get very excited about it.
Rightly so as well. Everything we see here now has been donated by people one way or another, right? So there's wood chip across the whole thing around all these hexagonal beds, and this has all been donated. Where did the wood chip come from?
Mr. Whitehead, my friend. Johnny Whitehead, that's it. There we are. I say my friend, can barely remember his name.
I do all the time, don't worry about it. It's a podcast thing, don't worry.
And he runs his own tree surgery business. And you simply ask. And as I said, this is a ton of wood chip, and which really transformed it. It was a muddy patch before, and now it's got some kind of form to it. But as you say, there's a greenhouse there which has been donated. Even watering cans. We've got potato sacks, plants, netting, bamboo, pots, wheelbarrow, 5 compost bins. We have 7 water butts. And every single plant that you can see has been given through kindness from the community.
Bees as well?
Oh, yes. Let's not forget about the bees.
How do you donate bees? I don't know. How's that possible?
Well, we're not. It's more of a sighting than a donation per se.
Okay.
We're looking after them on our land because, as well as not having any idea about gardening, I certainly don't have any idea about beekeeping, and it is something that you do need to know about. I don't think you can wing it.
Phil, you don't have a bee allergy, do you, at all, by any chance? You're good, yeah.
I'm good, but terrified.
Two beehives right by there. Does that bother you?
No, it's one of the little tricks. My mother said to me, I don't know, when they first came in, speak to the bees. And I'm not sure that's, whether it's anything mystical or wonderful, but it does make you feel better about it.
I've done it before. Like, if a wasp comes to you, you go away. It'll go away.
Oh, right. Well, there we have it.
Maybe it's a bit like a lion's, like, sort of growl,
It might be. Growling, yeah, it might be all too much for them. Yeah. I have been bumped by them because their flight path goes across that way, and if you're out and about, you'll feel them just fly straight into you.
Okay, well, we'll bear that in mind.
Yeah.
So what's the process then with these beds? How long does it take to put one of these together? Phil's taking some pictures now. We will share these on our social media so you guys can see.
Well, the bed started down at the Abbey plot. We decided to make a specific planter for wildflowers for the bees, and just as a bit of fun, we made it hexagonal. But I did some, junior mathematics, and we believe, it's unproven, and I'm sure it'd have to be very accurate, that you get more space if you use the same kind of pathworks. But it takes 20 minutes to dig out one hex, so you're looking at an hour and 20 minutes to dig out a 4-bay bed. Then we're going to move, we haven't done so far, but we are going to move to no-dig gardening. Which is something that a chap called Charles Dowdy espouses on, and you can actually see the difference. Are we able to walk? Yes.
Yeah, of course, yeah. Let's do that.
What happens is that you dig the bed out, you then cover it in cardboard, and then you put compost on top. And this is exactly what's happening here with the onions. And as you can see from this bed, which is just dug, there are lots and lots of weeds on their way out. If this bed is now, I would say about 4 weeks old, and you're only just getting a few weeds out. So it stops, or not stops, but certainly slows down the weeds. It doesn't require as much heavy digging. So we're going to kind of move towards that maybe next year when we've got our own compost.
That's great. I've never seen anything like that before, because usually, that's brilliant. Just the way it is, the way it's all separated and organised and tidy.
It's absolutely wonderful, and it just makes the job of it easier. And with no-dig gardening, part of this, I'm sure, is to hopefully inspire other people to take up a little gardening in their, front lawn. I went up a road the other day that must have had maybe 400-500 square meters of pure lawn, and I was, why don't you do a little allotment or a raised bed? But people don't know as much about.
It's the plastic grass that I'm kind of got an issue with.
Say no to plastic grass.
Yeah, say no. I spoke to Niall McCann a while ago, who's a National Geographic explorer from Shrewsbury, and he was just like, this should be made illegal. I mean, I know there are a lot of people that I know actually that use it. I'm just saying, like, come on, consider your options, guys.
Yeah, very much.
How did you learn how to do this then? Because this is quite sophisticated. These domes that you're making.
Well, the domes, I'm old now, and so I've had former lives, as it were, and I've always been interested in geometry, and geodesics are just the most amazing object in the world, and really very simple to do, although, as you can see, my favourite geodesic got battered by the wind yesterday, which won't take too much to fix it, but they are just beautiful, and they fit over the beds.
Yeah, and what is that? Is that an old trampoline, or
the netting? Absolutely, is just an old trampoline. That, as is the net covers just there. They were here on the site, so you might as well use them.
I'm just blown away. I really am, because, like, there's a lot of people that would look at a battered old trampoline, but I'll just take it down and skip, But you're just like, no, I'm going to turn it into a sophisticated thingamajobby for my garden.
Well, it's I am a proper skip diver. Anything that goes into a skip, I think, oh, I wonder. And sometimes you can use it, and sometimes it's just a waste of time. But as you say, yeah, trampolines are God's own gift to these beds.
What's this on here then? Is this all compost?
This is beautiful 4-year-old horse manure from a livery out in Baschurch. Thank you, Jamie.
Nice.
So we took some to start off with, and then because he was getting rid of it, he cut down the centre of the compost pile, and right in there is just beautiful stuff.
So what's your kicks there, Phill? 4-year-old horse manure.
This is horse manure, but it's it doesn't smell. It's so full of all the goodies that you need for plants, and hopefully that will give us a good bed for all the planting out that we're going to do on Monday. I think it is. Yes, if the rain stays away.
Yeah, look, I can feel the rain coming back again, which means we might have to. I'm all right with the weather. My equipment is not, and I don't. It's all mostly funded by me. Yeah, so these plants here, they're going to go into these beds, or have you got other places for them?
Yes, into these beds. We've got one free bed down on the Abbey plot, which I have saved for leeks, which I have in my dining room. They've been hardening off, actually, so they should be ready to go out on Monday. And then I think the rest of the year is just tidying up, weeding, looking after things, and pulling food out of the ground. Honestly, I took out... The first thing I've ever taken out a couple of weeks ago, radish, and it was enormous.
Yeah.
Really a good 3 inches
tall. How good did that feel?
It was amazing.
Yeah,
it really was.
Really satisfying.
Yeah.
Well, if we move to the greenhouse, because
yes,
I want to talk about what's going on in there, because it is awesome. I want to talk about what plants you've had donated in here.
Wow, well.
And it's dry as well.
Yes, indeed. Probably a slight change in echo.
There will be a change in echo. Okay, guys, different atmospherics going on in here. What have we got here then?
We have quite an abundant amount of tomato plants. There are some more coming on. We have some more cabbages in the back. I believe some broccoli. And then we've got some purple sprouting broccoli. We have some peppers. All sorts of little peppers, 2 types of little peppers there. Nasturtiums, which will grow up on the trellis, which just came this morning, and you can eat those, virtually all the plant, as well as someone said you can make, what are they called, like nasturtium capers. I'm going to give it a go.
Have you got green fingers, Phill? Do you know how to? Are you good in the garden?
Not amazing, but I know a bit. I do enjoy it. I have some house plants. I think they're quite therapeutic, and it's an escape, really.
I was talking to someone recently saying that actually, like, images of nature are really good for mental health. Like, it's really soothing to the soul. See this.
Well, honestly, there's microbes in the soil which are very good for you. The whole thing, being outside, feeling. I was talking to a lady who brought us most of those onions, actually, and she is a therapist, and all research points to we need to spend a great deal more time outside to feel good.
Absolutely. I mean, it's one of the things I say to young people mostly is like, get off the Xbox, go for a walk, you'll feel so much better. And I'm starting to sound like my parents when I was their age, so it's great, isn't it?
It's maybe something comes.
What I'm astounded by as well is that this is so new to you. I can't get over that you've made this, not knowing it. So we were talking about YouTube and how good that is to learn. Have people been coming and showing you physically how to do things as well?
We went up to there's all sorts of council allotments, but I have a friend up on Dart Lane allotments, and you go around there, and she's a horticulturist and gardener, and she will give you any amount of advice that you need to, But as you say, a lot of it comes from YouTube. Certainly the compost tricks that I've been trying to learn, get that going, get that speeding up. That's YouTube. Checking on geodesic domes, that was YouTube. So the whole library of information out there, as well as the tidbits of information that people are happy to give you.
Yeah, I was looking at these like pine coniferous type trees here. Is that stuff bad for the needles and stuff when they fall down, or
Could be.
Yeah.
Could be, but the bins have got covers on. I'm not actually quite sure, but nature is nature. I would hope not. I've used them to help site the greenhouse, because as you can see, the GRDs, it got torched last night, but the greenhouse is still standing, so I think they do play a part in that.
This weather we're having this year, honestly, I thought this would be the year when we all down sat down by the river drinking cider, but obviously not. It's not gonna.
A week or so, that's the other thing that you get into is the weather.
I remember seeing something on the news. They were like, no, I think it was my wife. She was like, "We're gonna have a heat wave in June." I was like, "It's not even the middle of May. How do they know what's going to be going?"
Yeah.
What that means is go to Primark, guys. Go buy some shorts. When you talk about compost, you're taking donations, aren't you? People can bring things in for your compost, right?
Very much, yes. And it's what we termed as a food waste challenge. I know that the council do collect food waste. I know that I make a little freezer bag of food waste. But I thought it would take me some time to fill up those bins on my own, so I have asked people if they can, and we've got to be fairly specific about the food waste. It can't be meat, it can't be dairy, and it can't be cooked.
Potato skins, things like that. Yeah?
Yes, all the nice green veggie things, and just bring them down. I will then chop them up really finely, add all sorts of little wondrous things. What did I find the other day? Oats, porridge oats. Worms love porridge oats. Who knew?
Oh, wow. Well, this is all very fascinating, and I'm proud of what you're doing. I think it's really good. Who inspired you to do this? Like, I know you started clearing this land up, but what inspired you to be like, we can do something with this?
Well, honestly, it's not a specific thing. My mother's always gardened a little bit, and I know my grandparents gardened a bit, but it isn't something that has ever come to me naturally. But the more you do it, and the end game is to give the food away to the community, and we all know that there are food banks and so on and so forth growing, so if you can give away some food, I absolutely see no reason why not. And if you can inspire some people to plant their own raised beds, I don't see why not. You just carry on doing it.
Yeah, we're friends with obviously Claire from Lovely Land, who started that, over in Castlefields. I say started it. It's not. It's a generational thing, isn't it? We've got to keep reminding people this is here for people to do.
Yes, right? Yes, very much.
Very important.
Well, it's disappointment for, I would say, younger generation, because it's well known that council allotments have huge waiting lists. 3 or 4 years, and there is a lot of a generation that are upcoming. They're actually vegetarian or vegan, but they're in rented accommodation with no garden or so on and so forth. And what this does is just use scrubland. So it is entirely possible to do it. All you need to do is ask. The worst someone can say is, no, you can't grow veggies here, which I would find quite surprising.
Is there any land that you've seen around here that you're like, I'd love to get my hands on?
Well, as I said earlier, I did drive up to go and get the manure the other day, and it was, 500 square metres of front lawn. And there is an idea brewing that I might try and go and speak to all those people and say, look, this is dead easy. With no dig, you don't have to get absolutely physical. And if you could do that with, 20 or 30 front gardens, they could feed each other.
Absolutely. And what? I see these beautiful, especially in Telford, God, Telford's full of them, but these beautifully manicured roundabouts, that have got these nice trees and grass and sometimes big huge pebbles right in the middle of a roundabout. And I'm thinking you could probably do something like that. You could grow vegetables and stuff.
Well, you could. You do need waste access, and you do need water access. They're always council owned, but I have heard of people growing on roundabouts. It's another space. Once you wake up the idea that there is lots of land just going spare, there's a police station over the road. And I do know of another project where they're using the police station grounds to grow vegetables. This is all manicured. And car parks with business parks, it's all manicured gardening. Give it to the community and just say, you've got 6 months, to grow veggies. If it falls into waste, what's the worst can happen?
Wildflowers for the bees. I mean, that's just. It's really important right now, isn't it? Because there is an issue with bees. There's a decline in bees, and it's really important to be looking after all that. So, any notable people that's come and spoken to you? Then, obviously, I saw on your Instagram, Big E2 is a good. We're friends with her. Lots of people on your Instagram's great. There's so many people that just rock up and they're like, "I've got this for you."
Well, it's everybody and anybody. It wouldn't have been possible without Facebook and Instagram. And as you say, and I think it's important. I know it's only a picture or whatever, but I think it's important at least to say thank you. But the gardening people do seem to be a fairly special kind of generous person with advice, and they always seem to grow too much. And if there is this surplus, then we need to get it in the ground. But yes, as you say, it's everybody and anybody. There's a lady down mostly towards the Abbey Plot way. She collects loo rolls, and every 4 weeks she'll bring me a little bag of loo rolls which are good for seedlings.
My wife was like, "We've got loads of those loo roll things, take them to him." I was like, "I'm not turning up." How's it going, mate? Here you go, let's do a podcast. Here's some loo roll things.
No, here you are, look. There we are. So aforementioned bag of loo rolls, and there's another one just in there.
What do we use them for then?
You fill them with compost, pop a seed in them, and once the seeds are of an appropriate height and whatever, pop them in the ground because the cardboard's biodegradable.
Nice. Okay. All right.
So it's a full circle kind of usage.
Can you use them for like insect hotels and things? You know, a lot of kids are making them insect hotels.
No, I think that's more bamboo, long tubes of bamboo that get fitted into a hole.
Old bricks with the holes and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. What's the community been like around here? There's lots of people been coming and having a look. What's going on behind there, especially the people at the pub?
Well, when we first started, we were burning things, not things, but wood and just the mess that was around. And it did, and I didn't think of warning the neighbours, and a chap leant over the fence and went,
"Oh my God, there's a fire!"
Who's in charge here? And you're always a bit worried when someone says that. And I am. He said, "Tell us next time that you're going to have a fire, because we might want to put the washing out." What are you doing? I said, "Well, it's a community project. Need anything?" And at the time, I needed water butts and compost bins. Next day, turn up on the plot. He's not here, but there are 2 water butts and 2 compost bins that he's just gone out and found. So yeah, there's lots of help, and it just keeps on coming. This morning we've had a delivery of trellis that's leaning up against the wall there. All those pots,
nice,
have just come in. I'm not quite sure what I'll use the wheelbarrow basin for, maybe to grow something, don't know. And then
make a nice water feature out of it.
And then the bamboo just helps us cover up the 3-bin pallet compost maker. So those are right.
It's an official place for dumping stuff.
Yeah.
It's not just
and 2 more water butts. So it just keeps on rolling. People haven't there's always a peak in a kind of community projects where people might lose interest. It just doesn't seem to. I think this is Sarah from Ferndale Bed and Breakfast over on Underdale Road.
Favourite of mine.
Yeah, absolutely. And she came down with some food waste, happened to notice that there was a space on the tree, and thinks there should be a bird box. So rather than waiting, she just brought it down.
Nice. I love her. She's great. She's so full of energy.
Well, even businesses are getting involved. We've got eggshells from Peabody Cafe. They apparently get through 200 eggs a day. And so the eggshell keep away, you pop those into the compost. It helps keep away slugs because it's a bit sharp.
Ah, cool. Let's talk about the challenges. Okay, we've talked about all these positive, amazing things. What's been the hardest thing for you? I mean, obviously this weather's not been a great help with the wind and stuff.
Seeing plants die, it really is. You think I don't know that I've done extraordinarily well with the beetroot. They were going great guns inside, and then it was time to harden them off and put them in. And someone somewhere mentioned that they would go in between the potatoes. So I did that on the plot, and no, No, all gone now.
Oh no!
And I do love beetroot, and I've found one more, and I might have a go. But generally, it is positives, I'm afraid. I'm fitter. I'm outside more often, and nothing seems to get my goat, as it were.
You've got a great deal of energy. I love that about you.
Well, there's lots of weeds, and you think, oh, I'm going to do the weeding. No, it's not doing the weeding. It's filling up the compost bins. There's always a little positive to go for it. I'm going to repair the geodesic dome. Well, that just means I know how to make the next one better.
Yeah, because obviously the wind's giving it a bit of a battering. Sorry if the audio is a bit cutting off. We are standing here on a very dreary day in Shrewsbury. The weather is not the best, but yeah, we're still on positive feelings. What are we going to be doing with this food then? So you're going to donate it. Where are you going to donate it to?
Well, hopefully, I've set up a box outside the Abbey pub, simply because it's more visible and it's on street level. And if there's food in there, do by all means. We've also set up a seed share box on the Abbey plot as well, which you can pop seeds in or take them out. Mm-hmm. You can donate seeds as you're passing by. But Shrewsbury Food Hub, which is already doing enormous work, has said that when harvest time comes around, that they will help us distribute it to save it going to waste. And it's, in the other work, I have had radishes in the back of my car and gone, do you want some radishes?
Anybody want some radishes?
Anybody want to buy some radishes? We don't buy it.
They die. I'm sorry to mock your loss there.
Yeah.
I'm very proud of what you've got here, because I can just imagine what it probably looked like here before and what it looks like now. Do you encourage people to pop their heads around and come and say hello, or just kind of like, be careful where you step and stuff?
Well, you do have to be very sensible. Everything in the garden is moderately dangerous, and we don't want anybody injured. Yes, it's always nice to take a break in the little work when someone pops up, because generally they've got a little giftlet. And they're always enthusiastic themselves, gardeners and so on. So it's always nice to spread the word. And you never know what kind of information they bring with them.
Now the bowl club there is now open. You might get a few people, because they're of a generation. I've got to say, my cousin plays, he's younger, I know there are, but it'd be nice to have people poking their head over the fence, like, what's going on over here?
Well, they're kind enough to give me their grass clippings. So it's it does spread itself into the community. And yes, I think once, as you say, we're here in the moderate cold and wet, when it's nice and sunny, when the pubs and things, they all seem to be sited on pubs, when they're all open, people will grab a pint, and then all you need to do is really come in and pick up your dinner.
How long would you say you spend in this garden every day?
Well, certainly I come down, and check because of things like wind and damage or whatever. So I check half an hour every day, and then on days off, good 4 to 6 hours. It's joy. Just. Do
you work for a living as well? Have you got
absolutely. I am assistant manager down at the Crown at Coleham, which has been busy because we've got the outside and the terrace.
Okay.
But a good place to spread the word too.
I've never actually sat outside of the Crown. It's always been on my to-do list, because when I'm walking through the quarry, I'm like, that looks like such a great place to sit and have a drink.
It's a fantastic place.
Yeah. My boy goes to Coleham across the road as well. So so popping. Phill, what are we doing after this in Crown? Well, you've been amazing to talk to. I would love to come when this is all like in bloom.
Yeah,
overgrown and stuff.
I will certainly keep you up to date, because it'll be, I'm not sure, I think it'll probably be towards September that things really look like they're going, and you come across and see us pulling out some leeks or something.
Summer hasn't even. I was driving my kid to school this morning. He's like, "Is it? It feels like autumn, doesn't it?" And I was like, "Yes, it does." It's not really got going this summer, has it?
No, I think we're about a month behind. April showers. Hopefully, we'll get some June weather.
Yes, hopefully, we'll see. How can people get in touch with you to find out what you need?
Facebook page, certainly, or message me there. On the top of the Facebook page, there is a wish list, which is actually quite short at the moment. We're just working through
So
what we've got.
Street Allotment.
Street Allotment Guy
Yes.
is the Facebook page, although it is the Street Allotment Project.
Mm-hmm.
So get in touch on there, or Instagram, as you did. That's
Yes.
no problem. We've all got those little phones and things.
Yeah, cool. Well, good luck with this. I think it's an amazing community project. I mean, you can poke your head around here and be like, oh, cool. But until you know the context and the story behind it and how you've learned to do this yourself, very short space of time, and the community effort behind it, that's when you realise how actually this is actually pretty awesome, isn't it? You know. Yeah. So well done.
Thank you
Good
very
luck with
much.
it all.
Thanks.
Right, guys. I need to tell you quickly before we get out of here. We are doing something very special soon. In September, we are doing a 24-hour podcast challenge. It's going to be a live podcast from 9 a.m. on the 29th of September. We're going to go live, and we're not going to stop until 9 a.m. on the 30th of September. And this is to raise money for Lincoln Davis local cancer fund. We have a venue, which is, I want to say a huge thank you to Shrewsbury Town, the community, for letting us use their Reach Hub. We have our sponsors in Reach. They're going to cover our marketing and PR. Very excited about that. We are after, we're looking for, we're selling houred sponsors. So if you want to sponsor an hour, it's a minimum £50 donation. Get involved. All the money goes to Lincoln Davis. Yes, we're really excited. You can come join us for that?
I'll come and join you.
Yeah, for the whole 24 hours? I'm joking.
Yeah, why not?
We've got, there's a guy called Baz Black. He's a musician, tattoo artist, and an actor. He's been working with us on USUC. He's going to drive down in his camper van and come and say hello to us. And that's quite cool. So I'm very excited about that. If you want to get involved, go to our website, which is the Shrewsbury Biscuit podcast.co.uk. There is a contact us option there on the website. So, Casper, thank you so much for chatting to us.
Cheers.
And we'll catch you guys next time. Peace out.